everybody, and welcome to another weekly stock market update. Today's the 1st of March, so happy March. And I hope you're having a happy March because the markets are green, especially if you are in our mastermind group where every single person is thrilled and we are all having great weeks and great months. And some of us are in SMCI, some in Microsoft, some in NVIDIA, some of us are in Tesla and Apple, and those will have their day, but they're not. It's not this week. But anyway, hope you're doing great. Let's get into what we talked about and what you can maybe benefit from. By the way, this is education and information, and it's not financial advice. Blah blah blah. You know all the stuff. You want to read the disclaimer, you can. Anyway, we're in a green market, 4 green lights, and when green shows up on your screen, you say go, and that's because I suspect we're going to be printing a ton of money, which is inflationary. All the hard assets are going up. That's why you're seeing Bitcoin go up. You're seeing gold have a little bit of a entry point here. You're seeing a lot of stocks hitting their all-time highs. Let me show you the indexes. Look at these indexes. Wow. NASDAQ composite at an all-time high. And it gapped up this morning. And I'm not sure what it's doing right now, but that's a pretty good deal where you're gapping up to all-time highs. Same with the S&P 500, all-time high. Dow Jones, not quite, but it's near all-time highs. So, it's probably down because Apple's down a little bit on a Goldman Sachs downgrade. New York Stock Exchange, look at that, candle at an all-time high, and coming off a decent volume yesterday. So there's some support here at these all-time highs, and you can see that in the VIX. The VIX is an inverse indicator, so as it's coming down, that means there's less panic in the market, so more people are willing to risk their money, and that's what's driving the stocks up. So you can see that in the VIX. The gold shares, like I just mentioned a second ago, is an inflationary index, right? So gold tracks gold, and gold has been doing nothing really this year. I mean, it's not even tracking inflation, but at least it's at a double bottom pattern breakout spot, so that if you were interested in gold, this might be a decent spot to get it. I think there's a lot of other investments when it comes to taking advantage of an inflationary trade, but you want to be in gold, here you go. All right, utilities, different story. Utilities are just on a big downslide, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. I think that 765 low point is in play. So that's not too far away. That's 60, 70 points away. It's in play for sure. But look at what you want to be in, right? So this reminds me of the dot-com period where in the late 90s, everybody was saying, there's this thing called the internet. And a lot of people were like, yeah, it's not going to do anything. But the companies that were invested in hardware at that time were the ones that did well. The Dells, the Intels, the chips, the Qualcomms, things like that. And even the software, Microsoft did really well during that period. And so everything just was going up. Well, now we have a new technology called artificial intelligence. And they're saying that's going to be even bigger than the internet. And you're seeing it in these indexes. Computers are all going up. You need computing power and chips to handle it. So stocks like SMCI and NVIDIA and AMD and Microsoft, even on the software side, and computer makers, they're all doing well. So you want to be in something when the wind is at your back and the stock market is green, that's a tailwind. When the sector or the industry is green, that's a tailwind. It makes it so much easier. It's effortless to make money in these markets. When you're in things that are a little bit out of favor, it's a lot harder to make money. That's why we use the cash flow machine system, which is selling covered calls against our stocks to be able to make money even when stocks are just sitting there. But everybody that's in these stocks that are moving up is making money right now anyway. And why not? You get income while you wait, and the stocks are moving up. Things are perfect. But you know what? They're not always going to be perfect. The markets don't always go up. Trees don't always grow to the sky. At some point, this gets a little bit ahead of itself, and people start to sell. But that's not happening right now. It could happen tomorrow, Monday anyway. But it's not happening right now. So good stuff to see. Let's go through a few things. Here's Tesla. I'm going to show you a weekly. This is not a good looking chart. If you're in Tesla, you know what I'm talking about. It's a bit of a pain trade. But again, it's to me, the fundamentals are way better than what the stock is doing. And a couple of years ago, the stock was doing way better than what the fundamentals are doing. So it's a cycle. This has got a death cross going on. This stock has come down significantly from a high of 300 recently to a low of 174. And here it is back at 200. Looks to me like it's trying to hold that 200 level. And we need some cause to be able to bring that back up higher. But when it goes higher, I think it jumps first to the 212, then to the 220 level, then to the 230 level to take out that 200-day moving average. And then we're back in business, at least on Tesla. So right now it's a bit of a patience game. The company fundamentally is doing extremely well. So take a look at that one if that's something, if you like to play an inverse strategy on a stock that's got some great fundamentals. But you can have your opinion about Elon Musk, but the man has changed the world significantly. This is the daily, and this is why I always start with the weekly first and then the daily, because the daily is like, it's just a zoom in and it's more wild, right? It's all over the place. So this is the daily, but you can see that little bottom kind of it looks like a little shoe at the bottom that's trying to kick from left to right coming up. So hopefully it just keeps doing that for all you Tesla people. Apple's kind of the same story. Apple, for some reason, is down about 10% since its recent high back in December. And, I don't know if they're going to sell fewer phones. I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to have fewer subscriptions. But you know what? Sometimes people use these big companies where they've made profits, like Tesla and Apple, to transfer that into things that are going up, like Bitcoin, maybe even gold, and Nvidia and SMCI and some of these other companies. So those guys are doing well, but maybe these Apples and Teslas are being used as a source of cash. I think you and I can have a debate that Apple's not going out of business in 2024. I think we can have the same debate that it's not going out of business, that Tesla's not going out of business in 2024. But the stock does dictate, what people are feeling, and here we are. Do things change? I think they do. It's cyclical, and if you look at any stock chart, you can even look at this stock chart. You can see that it is cyclical. It goes up, and then it comes down. It goes up, and goes down, and over time, like you can look over the last couple of years, it's exactly the same price as it was all the way back to December of 21. 2 years ago, Apple was at 180. Should you have bought it then? I don't know. It went down to 120. You could have bought it then. Will it go down to 120 again? I don't know. The fundamentals are better, but stocks do funny things. You can see here on the daily, it's a little bit crazier, right? Look at the moves on this on the daily when you zoom in. Kind of crazy. All right, a couple other quickies. Nvidia has been absolutely phenomenal for people at Nvidia. We made a call. I'll still continue to brag about this one. Nvidia and SMCI on January 3rd or 4th this year, and said, this is one of our stocks of the year. And look what it did. I said it could have a chance of breaking out from the 505 level, and it did, and it's at 800. Not saying that we get them right all the time, but this is a probability game, and Nvidia certainly fell into our screens and our probabilities. And when we studied it, I just looked at it and said, I think they're in the right business, and it's getting ready to go up. Sure enough, it did. SMCI is the same thing. Palo Alto had some earnings last week, and this stock, by the way, this is why we like to protect our portfolios using calls during earnings weeks, because you wake up one morning and your stock goes from 350 to 250. Now that's a big move. Now it's up today and it's up this week, but that's a big ass move to the downside, right? You don't want to be sitting through that if you can help it. And those earnings days are the days that you can help it. You got 4 days a year where you have a chance to protect your account. And if you didn't protect your account on that day, shame on you, because you should have. And we show you how to do that inside our programs if you want any of that. JP Morgan Chase in the banking sector. This is a good looking chart. Things are pretty good in the banking sector, although I'm hearing some stuff about some New York bank, that little guy that bought Silicon Valley last year or took over their assets, and they're in a little bit of trouble. But the banking stuff looks pretty good. Same with Bank of America. It's not as good. You can tell the difference in these two charts, right? Just look at the middle to the right. You can see lower left, upper right. This one, the middle to the right, is down. So Bank of America, for some reason, is in a downtrend, but to me, it looks like it's steadying out here at 34, trying to make a cause to go to 38. That's not that exciting to me, but anyway, I report on it because some people like it. SMCI, I'll stop on this one. One of those other ones that I talked about in early January, and here we are, early March, and the stock has done, look at that, like 1, 2, 3, 10 weeks in a row, 11 weeks in a row of just doing nothing but pretty much going up higher and higher. All blue charts, all on high volume. Look at that beautiful volume at the bottom of the screen here. And that's just telling you that the institutions are piling into this and driving it higher. And there's a FOMO trade, which means that, there's probably a little bit of a correction period. We made a call here a couple of weeks ago that we took our money off the table on Nvidia and SMCI, and they did go up a little bit higher, but we already made a lot of profit on those. So this is what you wait for. You sit in these stocks. Hopefully you collect some income from covered calls or whatever. But then when they finally do break out, you have the opportunity to play them to the upside a bit as well. So listen, thanks for being here and sticking all the way to the end. I know sometimes I can drone on and all that kind of stuff, but if you like what we're doing here, if you haven't subscribed, and about 71% of you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, just go down. Doesn't cost nothing. Click on the little subscribe button. A lot of guys go smash the subscribe button. I don't care. You can click on it. You don't have to smash it. And then if you want to hit the like, that helps the algorithm kind of serve some of these similar videos up to you, especially for me and some other people that you might be interested in. And if you hit the notification bell, then you get some of my alerts as soon as I put them out. By the way, this stuff is all going to be going away, and it's going to be going to our insider tips people. So if you haven't joined our free newsletter, we have a free and a paid version, but you can join by going to the link below. But it's cashflowmachine.io/tips, and you can just jump right on that, and then these will come right into your email, and you can look at them on, you don't have to watch them on YouTube. You can watch them right on your email, and they'll be delivered straight to your inbox. So that would be great. And then I can also tell you about other stuff that's going on, things that are moving, and markets that are shaping up to be breakout markets, things like that. Anyway, enough for me. Have a phenomenal weekend, and I'll see you next week on the next weekly stock market update. Take care. Bye.